What is going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Hope you guys were able to have a great weekend, and let's get right into another recap here. So right around here is when the market opened up for the Nasdaq in the morning, and as you guys can tell just from looking at the chart, right, from first impressions, today was not a day where we had clear direction. It was a lot more choppy, and you can tell that was the case because the pattern just looks like it was trading a lot more sideways, right? There was not really a clear direction upwards today or downwards. There was these kind of big dramatic moves, and then after that there was a lot of kind of choppiness. There was a lot of change of directions, right, and quick ones too. Red candle followed by green candle followed by red candle, right? Could have been a mess today if you didn't basically know how to manage risk or how to manage your emotions. So yeah, I want to walk through today quickly how I did. So our account was up on the day over 800, but that isn't because of my day trading, right? Day trading, I only traded TQs and SQs, which I'll show you in a sec, but up 35 on TQs and down $4 on SQs. So here are all my filled orders, right? You'll see them. Only traded TQs and SQs, and yeah, I just want to walk through kind of how today went. So my goal is usually to hit $100 a day, right? And obviously I fell short of that, but today I kind of looked at as a win because I definitely feel like I improved. I improved basically trading a day where it's more consolidated. I usually do horrible on these days, and I feel like in the past, I would have started the day off digging myself in such a big hole immediately, because I wasn't patient for confirmation or anything, that I would end up giving myself I would basically end up giving back too much money on the day, right? Like $150, and I would have to walk away, and I would end up missing these actual reversals because I kept trying to predict the bottom. But I'm gonna walk through that in a sec right here. But yeah, so up like $30 on the day, and why did I think today was a win? It's just because of how I approached it. So like I just said in the past, I looked to start getting in TQs when the market opened up, because as you guys can see, when the market opened up, we had this big green candle that shot up, and on top of that, the overall direction heading into the market open, in my opinion, was still uptrending, right? Because we're still trending between the middle VWAP here and the top VWAP. And I think that's what a lot of people saw too heading into the market open, which is why we saw this big flush up. And yeah, because of that, I wanted to go ahead and pay attention to TQs because direction was showing like it wanted to keep uptrending. But unfortunately, that didn't end up being the case. And although I started to focus on TQs and started a profit, we obviously got followed by this huge sell-off. And this thing actually sold off pretty aggressively. Look at these red candles. They were pretty significant. And on top of that, they were just they followed each other, right? They were pretty sudden. They were only within minutes of each other, and yeah, that just had a lot of fear, a lot of panic selling. And obviously, once this happened, I ended up stopping out, and I kept being red on the day because this trade put me red. And on top of that, what I kept doing today, like I did in the past, was I kept trying to somewhat predict the bottom for another leg up, right? Once the market sold off right around here, I still kept trying to look for a play up for TQs because I thought that the market could still hold this support level around here. And that wasn't the case. It ultimately kept falling, and then I ended up trying to buy around here at the bottom VWAP because, like in the past, we did get a little jump here, and I thought we could get the same thing. But the only difference was today, although I did kept buying in, maybe a little more premature than I should have, right? I should have waited for more confirmation of an uptrend actually, like a break above this blue EMA line here. I only bought in with a quarter, and I never was impulsive like I would have been in the past to add before there was any signs of confirmation, and that's what have dug me in the hole. And the reason why I may have done that, right, was because I can't control my emotions. I don't know if a lot of you can relate, but when I first started, it was just a lot more overwhelming for me, right, because I hadn't done it. And because of that, let's say right around here, I would have bought in after taking a loss, right? I would have started the day off with going green a little, and once this thing started to sell off, I would buy in, and at the slightest sign of a nice little green bar, I would have maybe fully sent it or just averaged in more, just averaged in heavier, right? even though we never had confirmation it was uptrending again. We didn't break above this blue EMA line here, right? Or anything like that. And although there was a green candle, it may have gone my way for a sec or two, but then it would keep selling off, and I would refuse to kind of cut it, or I would keep doing the same thing and keep riding it down until ultimately that would just lead to a big loss, right? I would just be too greedy, trying to average in quick so I can make my money back, and I would pay the price because of that. So that's not what's smart to do, and because of that, I've learned from that, and I only bought in with a quarter. If even at all, right? If I even should have been trying to buy for a play for TQs here, right? Because direction still isn't my favorite. But I did end up being red on the day because of that. I ended up being red around $30 to $40 when I'm sure the previous version of myself would have been down, like, let's say around 150, and I would have been done on the day before this nice reversal, right? So I was down 30 to 40. And ultimately, once I did see this nice support trying to form around here, I bought in with a quarter. And once I did finally see the break above this blue EMA line here, right? The pattern, the downtrending pattern was no longer holding because it was breaking pattern now, right? It was no longer holding below this blue EMA line here as a resistance. It broke above it now, and it was going to try and act as a support, right? Just like it previously did before. So once it broke above it, that's when I decided to average in heavier. And as you can see, that was just a good sign to want to add because the market did push, and that is just something I've noticed, right? The EMA line is such a great tool to be able to kind of give you an idea of where direction is going. It's not always going to be perfect or anything like that, but it's pretty useful in my opinion for the most part. And yeah, I waited for confirmation. I was able to ride a leg up and ultimately sold around here at previous resistance areas, which I'm glad I was able to, right? Because I was able to make all my money back and more, end the day up what I lost, right? So that means that I was able to make around $70 on this leg up after being down 30 to 40 and ending the day up just over $30, right? And I was happy with that. I unfortunately sold because my brother and I are only going to have around an hour to trade every day, which is very little compared to what we're used to, because unfortunately we do have to start going into work earlier, which I'm sure none of you care about, but that's the reason why. And yeah, we're only gonna have an hour to trade, so I'm gonna try and make the most of it. But yeah, I hope a lot of you guys were able to keep trading if you wanted to and hopefully profit. But today definitely would have been a lot trickier because I'm happy to have left off where I did, because after where I sold right around here, the market was very choppy, right? Very indecisive, wanted to sell off, push up, sell off, push up. As it broke above the EMA here, actually sold off, made you think it was going to make a lower low and keep selling off only to rally, right? It could be a big mess, and maybe it's best these days when you see a pattern like this to just avoid trading, to not overcomplicate it and to not just keep putting yourself in a bigger hole, because in my opinion it's higher risk, right, when you don't know where when direction isn't clear. So yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you guys all learned something. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Take care.